Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Parliament meeting called for today afternoon. UML forced to disrupt the meeting again. Vice Chairman Mang demands local poll in slated time, accuses the ruling parties of trying to defer the election. Airline operators increased price of air tickets. The airfare has been increased by Rs 90 to Rs 540. Putin says Ukraine's future in doubt. Greece fires in port city of Mariupol collapses. And Chelsea beat Burnley 4-0 at Turf Moor. Kai Havertz scored twice in comfortable Blues win. And now the news in detail. The House of Representatives will resume today afternoon. Prime Minister Sheikh Bahadur Deuba will be presenting the 31st annual report of the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority during the House meeting today. According to the Parliament Secretariat, the House meeting will be held at 1 p.m. today afternoon. Prior to the meeting, Speaker Agni Prasad Sapkota has called the Business Advisory Committee meeting at 11:30 a.m. The Business Advisory Committee meeting will discuss the list of agendas to be presented later in the Parliament. The meeting will also discuss ways to remove the obstruction of parliamentary proceedings. The main opposition party, CPN-UML, has been obstructing the House meetings since a long time. The UML has reiterated its stance that it will continue House obstruction during today's meeting as well. Prime Minister Sheikh Bahadur Deuba has pledged to take forward the Federal Civil Service Act in a timely manner. A report. Inaugurating the 8th National Convention of the Nepal Civil Service Employees Union here today, Prime Minister Deuba assured that the government was committed to address the issues seen during the employee adjustment process. Deuba viewed that the civil employees should be employed for the national interest without discriminating them on the basis of their political ideologies, stating that the civil employees sound render services to public with smile. Urging the civil employees to deliver service effectively, the Prime Minister asserted that the Constitution of Nepal has clearly defined the rights of the trade union. He said that the civil employees should continue implementation of government's policies and plans effectively. He argued that it was the responsibility of civil servants to make the government successful. According to Deuba, the civil services has an important role in democratic countries. He said that the civil employees should be loyal, honest, strong and disciplined and must abide by the law. The head of government commented that the employees have been working as a bridge between government and citizens. CPN-UML Vice Chairperson Subhash Chandra Nembang has demanded the government to hold the local level election on the scheduled date. Speaking at a program organized by Press Chautari Nepal and its associated bodies yesterday, Vice Chair Nembang blamed that the ruling coalition has been trying to postpone the local polls under various pretexts. He further said that there was no alternative to the 3 tiers of elections. The former Speaker of the House of Representatives also accused the Deuba-led government of hiding the new map of Nepal which the former UML government had issued by taking great risk. He said that the appointed map had become popular among the people, but the current government hid the map to the disappointment to the people. Similarly, Chairperson of CPN Bagmati Province, Kesav Pandey, said that the journalists should work as per the people's expectation based on the fact and the truths. The Kathmandu Metropolitan City has appealed the public to inform if they have missed any reconstruction work related to heritage sites within the metropolis. Chief of the Kathmandu Metropolitan City, Bidyasundar Sakya, has claimed that the construction works of almost all the heritage sites have been completed and he is urged to the people to inform them if they missed anything. Talking to the media person after the inauguration of the expanded building of Dharmakriti Bihar in Chhatrapati of Kathmandu on Saturday, Mayor Sakya said that the Kathmandu metropolitan city has also helped in the reconstruction of heritage sites outside the city.
धेरै ठाउँमा बनाइसक्दा सधैँ कोही कोही छुँदैको छ कि हाम्रो ध्यान नपुगेको ठाउँ छ कि अन्त सबै बनाइदियो हाम्रो एउटा छुट्यो भन्ने लागेको छ भने उहाँले पनि हामीलाई सम्पर्क गर्यो भने त्यो ठाउँ पनि हामी पुनर्निर्माण गर्न सक्छौँ।
Mayor Sakya also mentioned that Kathmandu metropolitan city has been helping to preserve the heritages of other municipalities as well. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. A total of 91 new cases of COVID-19 were reported across the country yesterday. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, no COVID-19 related death was confirmed during the period. The new cases were confirmed from the PCR and antigen test on 6,220 people, according to the ministry. With this, the total number of COVID-19 infection has reached 977,447 in the country as of March 5. Similarly, a total of 362 infected patients have recovered during the same period, taking the recovery caseload to 958,555. The recovery rate is 98.1%, said the ministry. Currently, there are altogether 6,947 active cases of COVID-19 in the country. On Saturday, more than 200,000 people received vaccine against COVID-19, the ministry informed. 19 newly elected members of the National Assembly have taken oath of office and secrecy. A report. The newly elected upper house members took the oath of office and secrecy before NA chairperson Ganesh Prasad Timalsina at a program organized at Singadarbar-based Parliament Secretariat yesterday. The newly elected upper house members include Jayanti Devi Rai, Suman Golzin Serpa, Gopal Kumar Basnet, Urmila Aryal, Mohammad Khalid, Goma Devi Timalsina, Krishna Prasad Paudel, Kamala Panta, Bhuvan Bahadur Sunar, Suresh Kumar Ale Magar, Rajendra Lakshmi Gaire, Tul Prasad Vishwakarma, Yuvraj Sharma, Durga Gurung, Nar Bahadur Bishta, Uday Bahadur Bohra, Madan Kumari Shaha, Jagat Bahadur Parkhi, and Narayan Datta Mishra. The election of 19 vacant posts of NA members was held on January 26. The terms of the newly elected 19 members would be of 6 years. On the occasion, NA Chair Timalsina handed over an emblem of a federal parliament to the newly elected members. General Secretary of the Parliament Secretariat, Dr. Bharatraj Gautam, on the behalf of the Secretariat, wished the newly elected NA members for a successful tenure. Minister for Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, Dilendra Prasad Badu, political party leaders, chief whips and whips of different political parties in the NA were presented on the occasion. The Parliament Secretariat also held a program to impart brief information about the Parliament and parliamentary practice to the newly elected NA members yesterday itself. Nepali Congress leaders have stressed for early election due to the obstruction of Parliament by CP and UML. A report. Senior leaders of Nepali Congress have said that they might have to opt for early elections of federal parliament due to the obstruction of parliament by the main opposition party. The election of the federal parliament has been fixed for next winter, but the leaders including Ramchandra Paudel and Gagan Thapa opened that they might have to consider elections before the fixed date. Speaking at a program organized in the capital yesterday, senior leader Podel warned that they will have to go for early elections if the UML gives continuity to House obstruction. He said that he has already suggested Prime Minister Sherbahadur Deuba to consider early election in the House obstruction continues. Podel said that there is no alternative to elections in such a situation as the country needs to be moved ahead for a stalemate.
प्रधानमन्त्रीलाई पनि मैले भने मेरो कुरा उहाँले पनि बुझ्नुभयो होला या चाँडै संसद सुचारू गर्नु पर्यो या त चाहिँ चाँडै संसद ल्याउनु पर्यो त्यसकारण चाहिँ अब यस्तो अलमलमा राख्नु हुँदैन देशलाई भने र म सबै तपाईँहरूलाई पनि सबैलाई के भन्न चाहन्छु भने कि आज मुलुकलाई आज एउटा यो गरिबीबाट मुक्ति चाहिएको छ.
Speaking at the same program, ANC General Secretary Gagan Thapa claimed that the elections will be held before the scheduled date if the UML does not allow smooth business of parliament. He also claimed that his party will win majority votes and rule for the next 5 years.
हामी संवाद गरिरहेका छौं, फकाउने कोसिस गरिरहेका छौं, आउनुस् भनिरहेका छौं, तर कुनै पनि तरिकाले सकिएन भने त्यो बेलामा संसद किन चलाइराख्ने भन्ने प्रश्न उठ्न सक्छ. र त्यो बेलामा चुनाव अगाडि हुन पनि सक्छ. तर स्थानीय चुनाव तलमाथि हुँदैन. चुनाव हामी गराउँछौं र यो पटक शानदार ढंगले चुनाव जितेर आएर 5 वर्ष सरकार पनि चलाउँछौं.
Nepali Congress Vice President Dhanaraj Gurung said that his party is already ready for election and indicated that they would contest in the polls single-handedly. He further said that his party will have no problems if it did not get support from Pushpa Kamal Dahal and Madhav Nepal. And now the news from economic front. Airline operators has increased the price of air tickets following the hike in price of aviation fuel. The Airlines Operators Association of Nepal decided to increase the airfare 2 days after the Nepal Oil Corporation increased the price of petroleum products. The state-owned oil monopoly had announced to revise the price of aviation turbine fuel as well. The new price has come into effect from yesterday. As per the decision of the airline operators, the prices of air tickets for domestic flights have been increased from Rs 90 to Rs 540. The airfare of Kathmandu-Simara flights have been increased the least by Rs 90, while the tickets for Biratnagar-Nepalganj flights have been increased the most by Rs 540. The new airfare will be applicable from today. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Russian President Vladimir Putin warned yesterday that Ukrainian statehood is in jeopardy and likened the West's sanction on Russia to declaring war. Meanwhile, a promised ceasefire in the port city of Mariupol collapsed amid scenes of terror. With the Kremlin's rhetoric growing fiercer and a reprieve from fighting dissolving Russian troops continue to sail encircled cities, and the number of Ukrainians to force from the countries grew to 1.4 billion. Mothers mourned slain children, wounded soldiers were fitted with tourniquets, and doctors worked by the lights of their cell phones as blackness and desperations pervaded. Putin continued to pin the blame for all of it squarely on the Ukrainian leadership and slammed their resistance to the invasion. He also hit out at Western sanctions that have crippled Russia's economy and sent the values of its currency tumbling. Britain has frozen more Russian banks assessed than any other countries as part of the international wave of sanctions against Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, the Telegraph reported. The Foreign Office revealed the UK had frozen the total of £258.8 billion of bank assets compared to £240 billion by the US and £33.8 billion by EU. The figures came after the UK government faced criticism over the speed with which it was imposing sanctions on individuals in Britain linked with the Russian president's regime. Britain has imposed sanctions on individual members of the Russian and Belarusian elite, including Putin and other at least 12 banks and companies. At the same time, the British government is also pushed for an international limit on import of Russian gas in an attempt to limit Western reliance on its energy supplies. Ministers have spoken about targeting more than 100 individuals and companies but have so far named only around 14 individual Russian, leading to criticism of Liz Truss, the Foreign Secretary. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. 4 goals in 22 second half minutes helped Chelsea cruise to victory in the first Premier League game since owner Roman Abramovich said he will sell the club. Manager Thomas Tuchel admitted news of the Russian billionaire's decision had been a distraction, but his side did not saw it as turf moor thanks to 2 goals from Kai Havertz sandwiched between Reece James' opener and Christian Pulisic's close-range finish. Burnley will rue missed opportunities when the score were level as they fell to a second successive defeat to remain in the relegation zone. Just after the half-hour mark, the host squandered a great chance. Ashley Westwood's looped cross was misjudged by Chelsea's keeper Edouard Mendy, who also punched as far as Dwight McNeil. Somehow, with the goal gapping, they managed to shoot over the bar. Chelsea had plenty of profession in the first half, but little cutting ace Nick Pope was barely tested in the Burnley goal. Almost immediately after the restart, though, James edged into a crowded area and helped his goal to fire empathetically across the Pope. Chelsea were soon 3 up and in the total control. First, Pulisic's point cross was guided home expertly by Havertz before the German bundled James cross over the line. Pulisic got in one the act 21 minutes from time, rounding off what turned about to the comfortable afternoon for Chelsea. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Parliament meeting called for today afternoon. PML vows to disrupt the meeting again. Vice Chairman Wang demands local poll on slated time, accuses the ruling parties of trying to defer the election. Airlines operators increase price of air tickets. The airfare has been increased by ₹90 to ₹540. Putin says Ukraine's further in doubt. Ceasefire in port city of Mariupol collapses. And Chelsea beat Burnley 4-0 at Turf Moor. Kai Havertz scores twice in comfortable Blues win. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.